Hey guys, Shukesh here. So if your budget is in between 40 to 50,000 rupees, then most probably these two devices are in your mind. They offer flagship specs at almost half the price tag. The device on my right hand is the all-new Samsung Galaxy S20 Fan Edition, and the left device is just launched OnePlus 80. Now S20 FE will cost you 50,000 rupees in India, $700 in the US, and also a 256GB version of the S20 FE has been launched at 54,000 rupees. OnePlus 80 is priced at 43,000 rupees for the 128 and 46,000 rupees for the 256GB version, that is $750 in the US. Now let me explain the actual differences in between these two phones step by step. Firstly, these two phones are almost similar in terms of dimensions and weight. The batteries are also same, and one thing very important to note down here, the back panel of the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE is basically plastic, whereas you get glass back on the OnePlus device. But due to the glossy finish on the OnePlus, both are looking almost similar. In fact, both are handling fingerprints quite well. In terms of build quality, I will give both devices similar points. In fact, if you drop the phone, glass back is more prone to crack, but of course glass is considered more premium. Now the Samsung device is also IP68 certified, dust and water resistant up to 1.5 meter for 30 minutes. 80 is lacking this very important feature. Now about the displays, both are once again very close. 6.5-inch Super AMOLED on the S20 FE and 6.55-inch Fluid AMOLED display on the OnePlus 80. Both support 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10+, and the resolutions are also same 1080 by 2400. But it seems like the bezel of the OnePlus 80 is slightly narrower. In terms of color rendering, saturation and contrast, I think both are in the similar category, and 120Hz refresh rate makes the user interface very smooth and enjoyable, gaming much more intense. And there is also now always on display support on the OnePlus 80, which has been there on all the Samsung devices having Super AMOLED displays. OnePlus 80 is the first device to launch with Android version 11, but of course S20 FE will be getting Android 11. The latest OxygenOS 11 is also there on the 80, and One UI 2.5, which is packed with the same features of the flagship Note 20 Ultra, is here on this S20 FE. I have mentioned before, they share the same amount of battery juice, that is 4500 mAh lithium polymer, and S20 FE supports wireless charging, which 80 does not. There is also reverse wireless charging support and also USB power delivery, but the 65-watt warp charging support for this OnePlus 80 makes it one of the fastest charging device. And S20 FE comes with a very slow 15-watt adapter. I have made a battery charging speed test, so check that out. Overall, S20 FE offers flagship category features, whereas you get faster charging on the OnePlus thanks to its dual battery setup. Both devices come with 128 as well as 256GB variant. In India, OnePlus 80 will cost you 7 and 8,000 rupees less respectively compared to the Samsung S20 FE. Now the 256GB version of the 80 also comes with 12GB of RAM. On the Samsung device, it's 8GB RAM across all the variants. There is no micro SD card support on the OnePlus smartphone, and you can use the SIM2 slot for micro SD XC cards on the Samsung one. Now the biggest difference is probably in the camera department. Both have selfie cameras cut out in the display. You get 16MP f2.4 camera on the OnePlus 80 and 32MP f2.2 on the Samsung higher mid-range, and the sensor size is also somewhat bigger. And the biggest difference is basically in the video department. In this year of 2020, OnePlus's flagship killer can record only 1080p videos at 30fps with the front-facing camera, which is a big shame. I really don't get it. What are they really thinking? Everybody is now vlogging, and it's very important. You can record 4K 60fps videos with the the front camera of Samsung's Fan edition of S20, which is the highest on any smartphone. At the rear you get 12 megapixel sensor with f1.8 lens. There is dual pixel autofocus OIS, and once again the sensor is bigger than its competitor, featuring a 48 megapixel f1.75 lens, biggest aperture on a OnePlus yet. And though you get 4 cameras, there is no telephoto zoom lens, but you get a macro lens down at the bottom, which is coupled with a monochrome lens. There is indeed an ultra-wide 16 megapixel lens with f2.2 and field of view is 123 degree. On the other hand, along with the 12 megapixel primary camera, you get an ultra-wide 12 megapixel camera with f number of 2.2 with the same field of view of 123 degree. And the camera array is complete with an 8 megapixel telephoto zoom lens with 3x optical zoom, which makes the camera array much more useful. Don't get fooled by the 4 camera array on the OnePlus 8T. In fact, the second camera flash does not work. I don't know what it's for. It may be just for show. The wide angle lens on the Samsung device is slightly wider at 0.5x. You get 0.6x lens on the OnePlus, and you can record 4K 60 FPS videos with both the phones here. Now, as far as performance is concerned, I think both are neck and neck. I mean, they are packing the same CPU and GPU, that is Snapdragon 865 with Adreno 650 GPU. You can expect flagship-like speed and performance from both smartphones here. There is no complaint at all. One UI 2.5 as well as Oxygen OS 11 are graphics intensive, yet there is no effect on the user interface. But on this quick speed test, as you can see guys, the Samsung S20 FE is actually responding faster than the 8T, which is quite surprising because previously I have seen OnePlus devices doing better in this kind of speed test. So I will do a detailed speed test, stay tuned for that. The 3-step alert slider on the OnePlus is truly very useful, but the overall look and feel of the OnePlus 8T is not as premium as the OnePlus 8 Pro. The S20 FE is neither if you compare it with S20 Ultra or Note 20 Ultra, and also in the camera department they are not as good as flagships, but you get the flagship like software features of One UI 2.5 on this S20 FE. I think you get like at least 90% features of the Note 20 Ultra on the FE. So the Samsung device here is more flagship than the OnePlus 8T here. If you want a OnePlus device, go for OnePlus 8 Pro, or if you want a camera phone, go for Google Pixel 5. But in between these two phones, I will definitely go for the Samsung Galaxy S20 FE. The extra price you have to pay for is definitely worthy. Guys, I hope that this video was informative and helped you decide. Check my channel for battery test, for tips and tricks videos. Thanks a lot for watching this video and for your continued support over the years. This is Shukesh signing off.